Yes, I'm back on here, but I'm not going to go back to my podcast for the next 2 weeks. Not the next 2 weeks, but for the next week. Next week, um, the timing of everything that has happened to me, has been very bad. I did not know I was going to spend spring break doing what I was doing, but I ended up doing it, and that's okay. Um, it's all right. It's fine. It was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. I will explain that on my podcast when I come back, but I will not come back to my podcast until the week after next. Sorry, y'all. Um, the reason why is because I thought I was going to spend my spring break doing my scripting, writing scripts for my podcast, because I'm going to be doing another one and I'm going to be doing fiction on that one. So, um, a lot of this I did not plan. Um, wasn't expecting, and it caught me by surprise. And I know my normal time is during the day, but I had to come on here now because I just felt like I wanted to do a quick check in. I just wanted to do a quick live. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been happening. And then tomorrow, I'm going to come back on here and talk about more stuff that's been happening. So I hope you guys had a lovely Friday. I tried to have a lovely Friday, but it's different here. So it is what it is. We try, we try our best in doing things and handling things. But sometimes you realize you have a snake in your grass. So, um, with that being said, I think I want to start with the stuff that happened because I didn't give my opinion on this. I think I want to start with the stuff that happened before. Um, I'm not gonna be too heavy on the murder and stuff. People murdering people. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about. What do I want to entertain? I don't really have a specific order because I have not been on here for 2 weeks. So I don't have a specific order. Or a method to I have my own method to my madness. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about. I'm looking at a lot of stuff that I had plans on talking about. So I want to talk about this. I know I want to talk about something that y'all forgot and that is an issue, but this is something I'm going to be talking about on my podcast real soon. I'm going to have a Dr. Luke's week. I want to talk about Dr. Luke. Um, so yeah. So Twitter is outrage again because Twitter has nothing to do. Twitter does not have a life. Twitter does have nothing going on for itself. Um, so this person with no life decided to call Lotto out for working with Dr. Luke. Okay? You don't know who Dr. Luke is. Dr. Luke was accused of SAing Kesha. Okay? He was accused of SAing Kesha. Okay? Now, whether he actually did it or not, I don't know. That's weird. But of course, Twitter felt the need to tell everybody, I can't believe you're working with this guy who was accused of SAing Kesha. Okay. So I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but understand this. Kesha lost her case. Long story short, I would go into detail as to why she lost her case and what happened. Because if he was accused of SAing her and he actually did what he did, he would have at least served a small amount of time in prison for what he did. But at the end of the day, y'all understand the entertainment industry. It's crazy to me how the same people. Why do I have my heater like running in the back? It's crazy to me how the same people sit up here. You so busy doing Illuminati videos. Y'all done sit up there and say that Glorilla is part of the Illuminati, honey. Y'all do these videos and then y'all still don't realize why they keep people like Dr. Luke. Dr. Luke is also the reason why what's her name? Is the reason why Doja Cat is having the situation she's having right now. So yeah, everybody want to play moral officer. Let's see what's going on in your life. But at the end of the day, I will be doing a podcast about Dr. Luke. I'm also gonna be doing a podcast about BBLs. But I'm gonna be doing a podcast about Dr. Luke and what's going on right here, okay? All right. So I thought this was crazy. Well, not crazy. I thought this was beautiful. Because you never know what you could do, okay? So the story is that this author, his name is Lloyd Devereaux Richards, he wrote a book 11 years ago called The Stone Maiden. And it took him 14 years to write the book. And he did not get any sales, okay? This reminds me of the character in 2012 played by John Cusack, where he wrote this book and nobody bought his book. So watch this. Watch this.
The monster's gone. He's on the run, and your daddy's here.
When Sean told me that was copyrighted music in this. Okay. So by the way, Lily T posted it. So Lily T, I saved the Lily T part.
Oh boy. I'm ready for a nap.
Cheers.
Cheers, honey.
How is it?
It's excellent. These last couple of days, I can't understand it. I feel blessed,
Sugar high. Cheers.
Cheers, honey.
Here's a little behind the scenes of where my dad and I have been living for about a week. That's his chair and my chair, and we've been doing all our interviews from here. It's just been amazing. Honestly, thank you guys so much. Like we're really tired and we're like overwhelmed and we're just overjoyed too. And so thank you so much.
Oh Lord. Like this is how you use social media. This is how social media is properly used. Okay. What she did was the sweetest thing anybody could do for their parents. You gotta cherish your parents while they're here. You gotta cherish your people while they're here. what she did was the sweetest little thing that anybody could do. That meant more to him than anything. And it's like sometimes that's all you want. You just want somebody to sit up there and just promote your stuff. Don't make it a big deal. Don't make it a thing. Don't pull it out for 2 years for something that's stupid. Just promote the people. You know, people have complicated social media so much to where people are charging people out the yin yang for promotion. Messed up part, even their dads. So it's the little things in life that counts that you do for people, because you just never know how much it means to them. That was sweet. That's how you do stuff. It was a small gesture, but it made a big difference.
9-year-old Aisha.
In the gay world, it's
so yes, I know this happened like a month ago, but I kind of want to talk about this real quick. Because I'm thinking the new generation, these Zers, don't understand what colorism is. So listen to this.
it's different. White boys want they want the BBD. You know you know what I'm trying to say, and that's just a true phenomenon that we navigate. In that, if you're light skinned in the gay world, you're not sought after like you are as a darker male.
You're not sought after from white men
from
or
white
from
men like
other black men.
Absolutely, because that's just they want the darker to bury the sweet juice. Like that's what's sought after in the gay world. In the gay world, it's different.
Girl, this is the same world that wants you to march for their rights, but won't march for your rights as a big black male, as a dark-skinned black male. It's screaming pick me. We say colorism. That's not too bad for me. Let me explain why. I'm not saying that, you a light skin and you want a white boy, that you wrong for feeling some kind of way about what he said. But I want to talk a little bit as to why this is problematic. There's a whole different misunderstanding of what colorism is. Colorism is when people assume that you are a certain type of way because of your skin tone. I want to talk about that real quick. Because I think I saw that. This is no diss to Tyler Perry. Trying to think of the movie I watched. I saw that in Why Did I Get Married? Okay. Angela, who was played by Tasha Smith, was the darker skinned woman of the 4 women on the show, on the movie. Okay. This is a prime example of colorism. She was the darker skinned woman to all the other women. Okay. Janet Jackson is light skinned. What's her name? I think her name is Sharon. I forgot what her last name was, but her name is Sharon. She played in Dreamgirls. She's of Asian descent. She's black and Asian descent, and she's on the caramel side. Then you have Jill Scott, who's also on the brown skin side, and Tasha Smith, who plays Angela, was pictured as more aggressive. Okay. Same thing with the men. Okay. All the men were brown skin, but the darker skin tone brown skin man, for some reason, was an asshole in that movie. That's colorism. When you portray someone of a darker skin tone as more aggressive. Now, when it comes to being with a white boy and getting white boy pussy, it's from my understanding, I've heard a lot of people say in the gay community that the gay community is racist in general. Not just because they want to be with a darker skinned man, but also because they I just know there's racism in the gay community, okay? You understand that? There's a form of racism because, like I said, for pride or LGBT community is glad, right? For the LGBT community, I'm not saying there's no people who are gay, lesbian, or trans or queer that will never march against Black lives being taken. But you never heard GLAAD come out and say, we stand with Black Lives Matter. Or we believe that Black Lives Matter. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? So to me, this is as tone deaf as a soggy toast. There's no purpose of a soggy toast if this is a community that don't accept your Black ass anyway. Does that make sense? I'm not saying he's wrong for what he said, but it's tone deaf. Okay? Because I'm assuming if you're a gay man, especially a gay Black man, you will go for a Black man first. That's it. That's all, Paul. That's all I'm saying. All right? But to add to this, is it really a colorism thing? Is it really an issue if a light-skinned boy is gay and they don't want a light-skinned dude, but they want to be with a dark-skinned dude? To me, it sounds like fetishism. It sounds like fetish, okay? It's the same way how a light-skinned woman can disrespect and dislike a dark-skinned woman, but only be with dark-skinned Black men. It's a fetish. It's a fetish. So I don't feel it's the same thing with, I don't know what it is. I remember watching something where this white guy thought it was exotic to be with a Black woman. And I was like, that's tone deaf. Why is it exotic to be with a Black woman? Your ancestors thought it was cute to sit there and sexually assault Black women. So this is the whole pick-me type of thing. The whole, y'all talk about people being pick-me's, but y'all are the most pick-me generation I ever seen in my life. Why do you care about what somebody think of you if they don't like you in the first place? But this is fetishism. This is the fetish. Okay, this fetish culture. I only want to be with a Black man that is dark skinned because I want this typical big Black cock. All right. So I'm gonna say one thing about this. I'm gonna end on this because I don't want to spend too much time talking about this negative ass thing. But the one thing I will say is this: how many of y'all have heard of Breaking Buck? That's all I have to say. How many of y'all heard of Breaking Buck?
Come with me.
I'll talk about this when I'm in a better mindset. I'll talk about this when I'm in a better mindset too, honey. This girl over here saying that her 50s is in jail and shouldn't be in jail. That I can't with the stupidity. Speaking of pick me niggas, course, he didn't get punished for saying, let me just go back to his picture. I don't know what he said specifically. I'm going to be honest with you about that. I don't know what Don Lemon said, but I have always felt like he was a pick-me. And he's easy for a certain group of people to digest. And if you see anything with Regina Gold, I'm going to talk about her briefly. I'm not going to spend too much time on nothing because there's some things like I'm not mentally at liberty to talk about right now because I just don't feel like it with you. I just don't feel like it. It just seemed like, why the worst thing in the world is happening to you, the worst thing in the world are happening outside. So there needs to be something somewhere. I don't know exactly what Don Lemon says, but it's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. And no, it has nothing to do with him being gay. I don't care about him being gay, but it's something about him that runs me the wrong way. For him to say something sexist, I'm not shocked about that because, next to being black, being a woman is also one of those things where when people say chauvinistic things and say awful things about how women should be and how women should be your maids and your slaves, that's the second thing that is an issue for me. Okay. And I got a double entendre of that. I'm a black woman, so I see the issue. When I first saw that he was going through his whole situation, at first I thought he was what's the word of saying? I thought Don was getting fired for being drunk on New Year's Eve. But I forgot that y'all love watching black people self-destruct on TV. That's how you got the Real Housewives. You have Married to Medicine, and then you have Love and Hip Hop, and then now you have Zeus. And Zeus TV is the worst of them all because it shows you black people almost killing each other. So I was like, that's not logical, not in this culture society. We love seeing black train wrecks. We think it's hilarious and funny, and nobody thinks about our mental health. Okay. So he's always rubbed me the wrong way. Okay. It was him and TJ Holmes on CNN. TJ Holmes used to be on CNN before he got on ABC. He was on CNN. I want to know if there's going to be more stories coming out with him about some of the sexcapades he's had at CNN, honey. Because I would have let TJ Holmes have it. I don't care. We did it, so we did in the copy room, and sure, we grown. But with Don Lemon, it's just something about him that is extremely tone deaf. Even though I'm going to show y'all another footage of him where he's defending black people for talking in a certain vernacular. Yeah, I said that word. And how black kids who talk and speak and a certain type of vernacular are accused of trying to be the caucasity of sorts. And that's not necessarily true. But I've always felt it's something about him that makes my butt itch, and I don't know what it is. I low-key feel like it's coming out soon. But he's not going to be in trouble for saying something about women because at the end of the day, women don't like women. Just like black people don't like black people. All right, here's another thing I want to talk about. They said a man called Hollywood PD and threatened to blow up the Hollywood sign unless he was paid $10,000. The problem, he didn't even call the right cops. Lord. This has to be his ear. I'm gonna tell you this. Anybody who knows me know, like I like three types of things, which is I love conspiracy theories, depending on conspiracy theories. I like well thought out ones, not stupid ones. Okay, one that make you actually go, not the ones that repeat themselves and talk about the hand covering of the eyes and the Delta Sigma Theta signal. It somehow has something to do with this and that and fro, and how Rockefeller's worshiping the devil, and how his semen is frozen at the bottom of freaking the Rockefeller Center. Whatever. Anyway, I like well thought out conspiracy theories. I love Hollywood scandals. Okay. I love me a good ass Paranormal Activity. Love the movie franchise. And I love hearing ghost stories. As a person, and you would think that I would have experienced paranormal activity. I wasn't experiencing paranormal activity for me. For me, it was just that, I don't know. I have anxiety problems. When I'm under a stressful situation, my anxiety gets worse. Okay. Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I have anxiety problems. So, because I stayed in the family member that passed away's house for 2 days, and it wasn't that it was paranormal activity going on in the house. For me, it was more of I was having anxiety attacks. Because your worst nightmare happened. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a tail behind ghosts, right? Near the Hollywood sign. I highly doubt he was going to blow it up. The reason why I don't think he was going to blow up the Hollywood sign is because I feel like, one, there's ghosts there. There's paranormal activity there. I'll be one to tell you I've never experienced paranormal activity. I don't know. There was at one time when something happened. I don't know if it was my anxiety or what. I don't know. I will talk about that later because I'm gonna be doing a story time. I'll be doing story times on here soon too. But I only had like one somewhat paranormal activity. I'm not quite sure it was a paranormal activity. It could have just been the wind. I don't know. It was weird. I just know that my great grandmother, sister had passed. We had just had her funeral, and her picture shook on the wall. Either her picture shook on the wall, or was it her picture, or was it my great grandmother's mother picture that shook on the wall? It shook on the wall and fell, and I thought somebody was breaking into the house. But I don't know if that was paranormal activity. I don't know. I could have superpowers. I don't know. We'll find out. But there's paranormal activity near the Hollywood sign. So if you are, I don't think you're going to get past the paranormal activity around the Hollywood sign. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to get anywhere with blowing it up, because one of his funny ghosts over there, because the Hollywood sign is where the Illuminati meets, according to no one. And I'm pretty sure the Illuminati will find a way to bring back spirits to keep anyone from blowing up this precious piece of shit. Okay? So yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead. But I'm pretty sure the ghost is going to get to you first, because there's a lot of paranormal activity surrounding the signs. I saw a story. They found the backstory to the actress that actually committed suicide by doing it. So yeah, good luck with that. But I don't think you can get past the ghost up there. They're protecting that sign for some strange reason. I'm not talking about him anymore.
A black family moved.
That's personal consumption.
Eric, Tawaya Payne's.
Okay. So more stories like this are happening when it comes to people adopting children. So I want you guys to hear this, and I'm going to give my 2 cents about this.
says she doesn't know how this teen boy ended up calling into her podcast, but she says she does not believe that this is a coincidence.
I think that God's been hearing his prayers, his brother's prayers, and definitely hearing my prayers.
Tawia Paynes was put in an unexpected position at the end of last month when a teen boy called into her podcast reporting that he and his 8 brothers were being sexually abused by their adoptive father. She's a podcaster out of Atlanta. The teen, as she would later learn, was calling from a burner phone from a home in Southwest Houston, according to charging documents.
I knew that he was crying out for help, but he was afraid.
The teen wouldn't say who he was or where he lived. Charging documents say he told the podcaster that he planned to wait until he turned 18 in just a few days to take action against his father. But based on the egregious allegations.
First and foremost, before we finish this, did you see the dad? Is that him with the oxygen mask on? You using all your energy to touch children? Girl.
The teen made during the 45 minutes he was on the podcast. Paynes says she knew she had to find help for him right away. Eric, Tawia Paynes says she doesn't know how this teen boy ended up calling into her podcast, but she says she does not believe that this is a coincidence.
I think that God.
Right, so it's just starting over. Nobody thought it was weird that he had to have 9 boys. Nobody thought it was real weird that this man wasn't married. Nobody thought it was weird. He's not married. And he was able to adopt 9 boys. And nobody thought nothing about that. I've always felt like putting your kids up for adoption was another way of sending them off to a world full of sex trafficking. And I think that's what happened when you become of age where nobody wants to adopt you because you don't have any family, you don't have anybody that takes care of you. I'm a firm believer that the next step is that, they send you out into the world, right? You have to learn how to do for your own. There are some people who are successful. And there's some people who end up getting adopted, or some people end up getting prostituted or sex trafficked. This is both. These 9 young boys were adopted just to be this man's sex slaves. And I just find it so weird that nobody thought anything was weird about this fat Jabba the Hutt looking slut dude not only adopting 9 boys, but you're adopting 9 boys with no wife. Be careful. This is the system, once again, epically failing children. This whole system is failing children. Even with kids who are not adopted, you're somehow failing children in the school system. We realize that the schools are nothing but a prison to pipeline situation. So you get a record in school, somehow the record affects you when you're real well. And adoption agencies, orphanages, are a pipeline to sex trafficking. Nobody's protecting these children. Nobody. I'm sorry, that makes me laugh. I just love this little thing. I love it. And yes, I'm gonna do a soundbite. I'm gonna have to do it's a soundbite. I'm gonna do that. I can't wait to get my little boy to do a soundbite. I didn't know they had Cheddar Bay biscuit shrimp. Well, I don't need to be eating no more.
Why ain't nobody
eat everything? All right. So I brought this up to my mom, and I find this to be very interesting. Hear what he has to say.
else last name Vandross but Luther and his daddy in them? You ever met a Vandross? Yo, this is a true ass statement, a true ass question. We all know black people got a lot of common last names. You got Johnsons, Thomas, Bradleys, Floyds, but I've never met a random Vandross. Huh? Even his dad. I know he had a...
My mama also put it out there. Pendergrass is also a unique last name. Who are the Pendergrasses?
Song about dancing with his father, but he was talking about Jesus. I don't think Luther got family. I think Luther is the only Vandross that exists in this whole world. I've never met anybody say, you know, Luther was my cousin. Nah. You ever met a Jamal Vandross? A Terrell Vandross? A Sandra Vandross? Nope. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all know any Vandrosses, please tag them in this post right now. I want to meet another Vandross besides Luther. Why ain't nobody else last name Vandross?
These are things. This is how you know that in society we ain't got nothing to do. We just sit around and be thinking about stuff. But this is one of those things why I actually was like, you have never heard of the last name Vandross. So I did a little deep digging. I look into Luther's background. Luther's dad is a Vandross, and his mama married his father, making them the Vandrosses. My only best guess is that this name, because I'm assuming that this name is European derivative, unless y'all know some Vandrosses on the African continent. The name sounds like it's European derivative. And because it sounds like it's European derivative, it might be Vander something. I don't know, Vanderpump. I don't know. But yeah, this is a question that is a good question. What is the root of Luther Vandross' last name? That is a good question. Thank you for somebody who's actually thinking something. I'll talk about this on a later date.
I think
I'm leave her alone. Okay. He looks like a douchebag. Here's the story. A Florida high school coach is in some serious trouble after he was revealed that he filmed two 16-year-olds performing a sex act in a classroom. He then tried to blackmail one of the students into having sex with him. According to NY Post, the incident went down at Doral Charter Upper School in suburban Miami on Valentine's Day. Dang, they were getting it in on Valentine's Day? Girl, they could have waited to after school. Uniski Ramirez Martinez approached the teens and started asking them a bunch of questions. He then took them into a room to do whatever they want. While they were performing the sex act, he stood in filming them through a two-way window. What's weird about this is that the footage from a camera in the classroom across the hall caught him giving the two students a thumbs up. His sick ass gave one a fist bump. The next day, Uniski approached the female student and told her she needed to do something with someone more experienced. She turned him down, and Uniski threatened to lie to the other teen she had been with unless she had sex with him. She ended up reporting him to the officials. Uniski was arrested Monday. He was charged with an offense against students by authority figures, solicitation of a child to engage in an act that constitutes sexual battery by a custodial authority, and promoting a sexual performance by a child. He's on bond, I think. Okay, he's being on a $40,000 bond. He's on a $40,000 bond. Girl. So are y'all just hiring gross people these days? Do y'all not care who's in the school system? Like y'all don't do background checks on teachers no more? It's not like he an ugly man. He not. He's actually decent looking. I don't want to talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this later on. I will talk about this later on because it did happen.
Okay, you guys.
Talk about this later.
Look at my mouth, yo. Look at my mouth. I'm trying to goddamn get my son. Spend some time with him. She hit my fucking mouth, man. And if I'd have put my hands on it, I'd have been wrong, right?
We're gonna have a discussion about this later. This gross face Joker, MFR, motherfucker. He's going to prison for 16 years for being gross and looking gross. But there's still some disgusting directors and producers that will do the same thing he did. So yeah.
And verbally.
Y'all remember this? About the girl at the white girl at Kentucky State attacking the black girl, and then the black girl was just filming her instead of her beating her ass. Watch this.
Assaulting a black student at the University of Kentucky, now indicted by a grand jury.
Sophia Rosing is now charged with 3 counts of 4th-degree assault, 1 count 3rd-degree assault on a police officer, 1 count 2nd-degree disorderly conduct, and 1 count of alcohol intoxication. So you may remember this video back in November. Rosing was caught on camera calling a black student worker a racial slur over and over again, dozens of times. The video also shows Rosing
and verbally assaulting a black student at
the UK student who is criminally charged after appearing in a video that shows her calling another student racial slurs has been banned from campus permanently. 22-year-old Sophia Rosing will not be able to re-enroll as a student. In a letter to the university, President Eli Capilouto called Rosing's behavior in that video, quote, disgusting and devastating to our community, end quote. Rosing was arrested Sunday morning after verbally and physically assaulting UK student Kyla Spring. The UK student who is...
I just want to see if she's going to go to jail for that. You know, it's to be continued. Yeah, they're taking the right actions, but is she going to jail? I'm not satisfied until she's in handcuffs and in jail. They confused me a little bit when they said, they confused me a little bit when they said UK student. I was like, she's from the United Kingdom? Y'all gotta be specified, okay? You can't say UK student. I'm like, she don't have a British accent. She sound like white trash. So according to TMZ, they're set to demolish the murder house, the house where the University of Idaho students were murdered in. That's a good idea. Okay. When I saw this house gave me bad vibes. I don't know if it was pictures of before or after it had happened, but this house just gives me bad vibes. I don't know why it gives me bad vibes, but it just does. It's just weird. So yeah, I agree with this. Yeah. That's personal. Didn't I already look at this? I already talked about this. Did I already talk about this? Okay. So we have another situation where the Scorpion unit beat down another black man. He was a vet. Okay, so according to Baller Alert, as more is revealed about the dangerous officers who killed Tyree Nichols, one Army vet said he barely escaped the Scorpion unit. Memphis resident Montarius Harris is still dealing with the January 4th experience that scarred him physically and emotionally. Per a lawsuit filed earlier this month, the unarmed man was inside his vehicle waiting for a family member when several masked and armed men surrounded his car. They swiftly began yelling threats toward the unsuspecting citizen, vowing to kill him if he didn't step out of the car. Fearing they were carjackers, Harris initially tried to flee, putting the car in reverse and hitting an object behind him, which left him unable to drive away. Forced to comply, he got out with his hands raised, hoping that men would just take his car and leave. "Get out of the car or I'm going to shoot," Harris recalled the officers during an interview with NBC News. However, he soon realized that the men were Memphis police officers, part of the fearsome Scorpion unit. They proceeded to savagely beat him. By the time he was taken to the jail on several unfound charges, his injuries were severe. Harris could barely walk into the station as he'd been left with a large wound on his left leg and bruise on his right from being stumped and kicked. A severe head injury caused the jail nurse to demand he be taken to a hospital. The vicious assault occurred just 3 days before the same officers beat Tyree Nichols to death for no reason. Now fired officers Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills, Justin Smith, Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Beans were all identified in Harris' lawsuit as the deviant who carried out the attack. These are the same officers who've been charged with second-degree murder in Nichols' death. They all plead not guilty. Harris is seeking $5 million in damages in a jury trial. They do realize they ain't doing campus hazing no more, right? So you just going around as black men beating up black men. Why, Sway? Why? The thing, and the screwed up thing is, as black men, they know they could get away with it. Because they got away with beating up this man. Oh, y'all black people don't like us.
Black-owned places to...
Will somebody tell me what the hell is going on with Kodak Black? You know, it's like, can't stay out of trouble. Right? Right. You know? Well, I know one thing, though. You have daughters. You know, daughters have a tendency to not be in jail all the damn time. I'm just saying.
Right now, 3 teens.
I'll talk about this later. That's the house I went. All right, I want to talk about this. I want y'all to watch this craziness.
Eat my chicken. Said thing. Stop on it.
All right, so black people, it was Black History Month when they were showing these guys and talking about how disgusted they are in these guys. I don't feel like anything they're doing is harmful. Let me explain why. They're showing you their talent, and I feel like I'm one of those people where when you on social media and you show people how talented you are, you might get an endorsement deal, you might get a brand deal, and they might be getting brand deals and endorsement deals and sponsorships to act like that. So I have no issues with that. As long as they happy, I'm happy. I don't understand why we all was saying, and like I said, y'all the pick me generation. So y'all the generation where y'all want people to get approval from you when I don't care about what you think. And the fact that you have time to pick on people who are making content that you continuously promoting because you keep reposting it and complaining about it is beyond me. If you don't like it, ignore it and don't say anything about it. All you're doing is promoting these guys. But I have no issue with what these guys are doing. I think it's funny. But I know one thing about this. Don't be doing it at the table I'm with. I'm picky about what you do around my food. We be fighting. Oh, I'm going to show this in the end. I'm going to do previews in the end. Okay, I want y'all to see this. This is so messed up. Watch this.
Jesus Christ! I dare I rebuke you in the mighty name of Jesus!
He's an ass. This is what I'm saying. People do stuff like this, and a lot of times they get not like sponsorships and brand endorsement deals. They even end up getting jobs on movie sets because who would ever thought of using strings to pull up a doll to scare the hell out your parents? This is so messed up. It's funny though. It's funny to me.
Look,
I want to talk about this real quick. So watch this. I want to talk about this. I'm gonna call a spade. I gotta go on T.S. Madison again for a little bit because I don't get it. And my thing is, she's not part of the Zers. She's more of a Xer. So I don't understand why she's not this smart. She was able to make tons of money, you know. But then once again, she wasn't, you know. She didn't make tons of money of having a brain. She makes tons of money of giving brain. So this is what T.S. Madison had to say. She said, a lot of you are disgusting. You rather see a black father denounce his gay trans child. But what can I expect? Some of you all are the same people screaming free R. Kelly. Sometimes I just wonder, what the fuck? Is my community? And yes, black bitch, black is my community too. She said, I really weep for my people, and you ones in my Facebook comment section are awful. And you protect kids behind your blatant hate for people who are your people too. You comparing apples and oranges, girl. I'm gonna say this: if you do have a trans or gay child, you should not, denounce them and continuously love them. Just that's your child. Okay? That's your blood. So I agree with that, but to compare that to the whole R. Kelly situation. I'm not one of those people saying scream. I'm not one of those saying free R. Kelly. He clearly did the crime. I want the people who help him do the crime to also be in jail as well. But understand this. This is about Zaya. And Zaya is too young to make the decision to change her name. But apparently her father and her stepmother, who nobody likes and is currently blackballed by Hollywood because she's an awful bitch, are supporting Zaya. But I'm going to say it like this. I also am against exploiting children as well. If my child is gay or trans, I want you to be gay and trans in private, not because I'm embarrassed of it, but because I want to make sure you're protected in that disgusting people. Like pedophiles don't think it's okay, since you are expressing your sexuality, think it's okay to exploit your sexuality. And I don't want you to be exploited for your sexuality. My issue is not that Zaya is trans. My issue is I feel like her parents are staying relevant because of it. So maybe we should see it as that perspective. Zaya is still a child. Zaya is young. Zaya is still growing. And Zaya might make a decision that she don't want to be trans no more. So for her parents who have no career, have nothing going for themselves, to make a decision, to announce everything Zaya is doing like the other 3 kids don't exist, is disgusting to me. So for me, it's not about the child coming out as trans. I think the child should be trans, and the child should be trans in private. It's none of my business what your child is doing. But I mean, for you to publicly always exploit this child for being trans, it's gross. That's all I said.
Man, Megan, we haven't talked.
All right. Look who over here saying sorry.
Since 2019. So we've been going through, I guess what you guys see online, and like I said, that's unfortunate too as well, because I never wanted to, have a situation where I was, going back and forth with her on the internet. Kind of like a couple of months ago, I just wanted to revamp the company and bring in a whole new fresh face. Look, we're trying to rebrand the company and give us a new look. We had our reputation was kind of real bad out there. So I just wanted to go directly at that situation and just kind of, start from fresh. I have to take responsibility for anything that happens over here at 1501. But like I say, things happen. Like I said, I got a lot real fast, coming from another lane and all that type of stuff. So a lot of things came at me real fast, and then I had to learn real quick. And in the process of that, you don't always make the right decisions, or you might make a few mistakes here and there, and you have to take ownership for that. So that might be the case for me at this point, and so that's why I'm at a point where I feel like I want to bring a whole new system in, a whole new team in, and just revamp the whole system.
Not a bully got a tail between his legs. Not a bully. Oh yeah, we just went through that. It was that and that, it was that and that, and it was this and this, it was that and that.
But I never had any problems with Megan Thee Stallion. It's just the social media stuff. It really just turned really sour. You take this social media part out of it, we don't have a problem. So to answer your question, yeah, this is a moment for me to when I'm done with that. You won't hear me mention Megan Thee Stallion name in the media unless I'm doing something like this, or it's just a big time interview where I gotta say it. But you won't see me like texting or making a post or doing any of that stuff. That would cause social media to go crazy.
We don't have any disdain for anybody. Meg, Rock Nation. I mean, at the end of the day, they are a business conglomerate. They are business people. We don't have any discrepancies towards any of them.
Not you backtracking. Not you already telling folks you done lost your case. Which, by the way, I did not know Carl Crawford had a J. Prince situation. I didn't know that Carl Crawford, and I know J. Prince associated himself with Carl Crawford. And I might do a live one day strongly off of J. Prince, because there's some weird stuff happening with him too. I decided to watch the interview with him and his sons, and I decided to watch the interview with them and what they were talking about Offset and what happened. That was before the whole world went to shit. So I'll be talking about J. Prince on here. I ain't gonna go too deep, because if I go too deep, I might end up in trouble, because I don't need nobody telling me I gotta check in. We ain't got check-in type of money. But yeah, not we backtracking.
One thing, and I have to say this, and this is a sensitive.
These two would never stop fighting. I would never understand why they would never stop fighting. And it was Hazel E that brought it up, you know? It was Hazel E. I don't know what the hell is going on, but there's a lot going on outside. And I hear it.
A TikTok couple wrapped.
I think I already kind of talked about them.
A TikTok couple wrapped up in a murder.
I did a whole podcast about them.
Y'all make sure y'all.
I want y'all to watch this. This is crazy.
Y'all go get your air tags on your Kias and your Hondas, because we are in pursuit right now for her car. Now it got stolen for the second time, and we about to find out. You going to jail. It is a felony. Let's go. They moving.
Call him, Chris.
All right, chill out. Okay,
I don't see it.
Park somewhere.
At Metro.
Park. Where's my? Yeah. Park at Metro.
Where? Which one?
Hold on, Lexus, chill out. Man. Yeah, that wasn't it, but we still in pursuit. Y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know y'all wrong. Yeah, right. See that? Okay, yeah. It's right there.
Okay, I'm going this way.
Okay.
It's my friend's vehicle. I think, yeah, we're following.
Look at this shit.
There he is.
You got a whole ass knife, son. What's your phone number? 626-841. Missed the point. They're at the smoke shop in Ontario House of Smoke, but they're leaving right now. You're tagging it? Okay. I'm not going. He's driving really fast.
It's a friggin' That's what I'm talking about, nigga. Period. Okay, that's just on period. That's on period.
Girl. First and foremost, this is kind of dangerous. But I don't think they knew who was in the car. But this is dangerous. I wouldn't advise you to do this. But like she said, get her air tag on your Hyundais and Kias, because they out here robbing people with Hyundais and Kias. So y'all be careful.
It's not you, brother.
So watch this. So Sabrina Peterson felt like Sky.
Dear future husband, I require a man of God. I require good morning text. I require flowers. I require date nights. I require time. I require respect. I require loyalty. I require love. I require affection. I require reassurance. I require all these things. Yes. Listen, ladies, never settle for less. There's a man out there that will give you everything that you require. And I want you to know, stop settling because it looks good. Stop settling because it sounds good. Stop settling because he has money. Stop settling, ladies.
So this is what she said.
It's my requirements. I require dates. I require flowers. I require morning texts.
I'm going to say this. I ain't gonna tell y'all how I really personally feel about Sabrina Peterson since I live in Atlanta. But I just feel like this. Like, you know, girl, you ain't been relevant since you tried to get T.I. in trouble and everybody found out that it was you and Esther Rose over here trying to tear him down. Girl, bye.
Watch to the end if you've been.
So this is what
them girls there.
Saucy Santana feels some kind of way about straight men smoking hookah. I never in my life, I did not know there was a rule to being a straight man. Hear what Saucy had to say.
Wrong. Them girls is not wrong. If you was the man, you don't need to be smoking a hookah, baby gal. You need to be rolling you up a wood. You need to be smoking you some za. Okay? You don't need to be sucking down a hookah, baddie.
Now, this is not problematic that you sit up here and you emasculate a man for smoking hookah. I did not know there was a thing about this. So you're saying that men who smoke hookah is gay or trans? What are we trying to say? And my thing is this. You want people to be open-minded to you, so why can't you be open-minded to a straight man smoking hookah? I don't get it. Let me continue.
Was a man, unless you was a gay, unless you gay, like a gay boy. That's the only reason. That's the only way I'm letting you smoke hookah. If you not no gay boy, you a man. Put the hookah down. Put the hookah down and pick you up a grabber. Not with that. Let me tell you something. Them girls ain't wrong. Them girls.
Girl. But we can't sit up here and tell you that you over here wearing a waist trainer where you could easily lose weight. And yes, you can easily lose weight because biologically you're a man. Men don't have the same problem women do biologically because of losing weight because they're men. Women have other reasons to why they may not lose weight. One of them is stress. But you over here in a waist trainer and you big over there. You big over here. You got a whole damn beard on your face. And you trying to highlight and contour with that beard. And we supposed to ignore that you're doing that? Saucy girl. Let me tell you something. I will never understand people from a certain community making rules that don't make sense. I never associated a man with being gay because he's smoking hookah. That's weird. Okay? It's weird, especially coming from somebody that be wearing waist trainers and you have a double chin. So DJ Envy decided to get him on that. And so City God, he said, yep, at Saucy Santana is right about hookah. Let's discuss. Envy, not you blew the smoke out for the picture. I'm sick, bro. Girl. This is somebody that has 5, 6 cheering. Leave him alone. Y'all be setting rules. There's no rules to being a human being except for you don't kill, you don't steal, you don't take people's spouses, you obey your mother and your father. There's no rules to you being a person. And for someone who break the rule constantly, we're sitting up here wearing highlight and contour with a beard on your face. How you gonna sit up here and tell a straight man that it's not okay for him to smoke hookah? This is what I'm talking about right here. This double standards. Like, girl, stop. Let's stop.
This is my voice without.
I need y'all to watch this. Okay? They're gonna replace all y'all black asses in the entertainment industry.
The Kendrick Lamar AI.
Keep talking shit about them Jews.
Voice filter. And
this is my voice with the Kendrick Lamar voice filter. Let it run DC. Let it run. Wish I could go back to the beginning. Are they gonna go and fake a Kendrick? They could never capture all my lessons. My objective simply haven't, in case you didn't get the message. Let him pray. Let him pray. Just let him pray. Let him pray.
This is my voice without.
You see what I'm saying? He just mimicked Kendrick Lamar. This goes to show you this artificial intelligence, meaning that you can make somebody sound like someone. So if you want Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, or Aretha Franklin to come out with an album, you can do that. Because you have AI that's fixing people's voices. Now look at that. See what I'm telling y'all? Sit over here acting like you're not replaceable. Very much so you are.
Girl, you looking good.
Oh, my bad. And on top of that, I'm not supposed to be doing it. I kind of like this video though. It's long. His locks are thick and long in person like that. Let me talk about this though. let me talk about this. Okay. I wrote a blog about this. I'm gonna do another blog too about somebody else. Oh, yes, that's the actual person right there on the left. Watch this.
Has been telling me she's frustrated with you. Well, she's frustrated with you because she thinks that you're letting somebody take advantage of you.
Well, we gonna find out today.
Yes, I certainly hope so. Now, you say Omarion bought you a ring, but you don't have it?
No,
Where is it?
he has it.
Can I show y'all something? Omarion gave me some earphones. True tea. I got some Beats, y'all. Even though he gave other people earphones too. How you have something and you don't have it?
So he bought himself a ring?
I guess
Why don't you have it?
because we never met.
Well,
As someone who's an Omarion, okay. I don't want Omarion to know I like him. Even though he's met me twice. But how have you never met this brother? What's the reason behind why you haven't? Because I need you to listen to the remainder of it because it gets even more crazy. Watch this.
why have you never met?
His manager wants me to pay $3,000 to meet him.
Michelle would never.
His manager wants you to pay $3,000 to meet
Mhm.
someone that you're engaged to.
He asked me
Your friend is here and has been every day.
every day.
Uh-huh. Does it sound like him?
To me, I can't really tell because I don't know his voice and by vocals by him singing. I can't really tell if it's
You're not a real Omarion fan. You never heard Omarion speak. Omarion, I don't know why, but for 20 years of me following B2K and following his solo career and stuff like that, how can you not have heard Omarion talk? I mean, I don't get it, but okay.
Is that his exact voice?
Why do you suppose he's never come to see you?
I don't know.
Because I've seen pictures of him in New York and he's in love with you and he wants to marry you and spend the rest of his life with you. And he's been within a few miles of where you are. Why do you suppose he's never come by and said, hey, it's me?
Because he claimed that his manager told him that we can't see each other until the maiden payment is made.
Does that make even
That's
logical,
why I'm
common
here
sense?
to find out, Dr. Phil.
Well, but do you need me to tell you that doesn't make common sense?
No, I don't need you to tell me it's common sense. That's why I want to know the
Every day.
every day.
Uh-huh. Right. Does that sound logical to you?
No, it doesn't. That's why I want to find out the truth.
You've been chatting online since October of 2020.
Yes.
You say you're engaged, that he wants you to meet his mother.
Yes.
That he lives in Inglewood.
Yes.
And
He ain't lived in Inglewood in 20 years. I don't think he lives in Inglewood. I don't know where he live at. Don't get it twisted. But I don't think he live in Inglewood. He's from Inglewood, but he ain't live in Inglewood.
and you live where?
In the Bronx.
And he rides his bike and goes to the mall
Right.
in Inglewood.
Right.
Okay. That you talk through his manager.
I talked to his manager. I talked to him.
You talk to
There's no way in the world you are an Omarion fan and you don't know Miss LaFleur. Okay, Miss LaFleur has been checking bitches since the Millennium Tour. Okay, them girls will send up here. They had blueprints of the Millennium Tour jacket. Y'all know Fizz pretending like he bought some Millennium Tour jackets and he spelled Millennium wrong. Po Fizz. Anyway, but Miss LaFleur has been the most vocal manager I have seen. So it does not make any sense. How you an Amoria fan and never heard of Miss LaFleur? But let's continue.
Him and his manager.
Yes, I talked to him yesterday.
The manager said you need to pay $3,000 for a meet and greet.
Yes.
And you did pay $300 for a fan club,
Yeah.
but you never got your
No.
fan club card. How many times have you actually talked to him?
I talk to him every day.
You talked to him personally, right?
Oh, she gets to finally hear how you speak, y'all. He pretending to play piano. Let me stop before I get banned again.
Oh, hey. Greetings to all.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, help me, you. Okay.
Peace, Dr. Phil. It's Omarion. I heard about today's show, and I definitely want to share this important message with my fans and the viewers. It's crazy how far these people will go to convince and manipulate my fans to think that they are actually speaking with me.
This is his speaking voice.
From sending fake driver's license and passports, even FaceTiming them, claiming that there was a bad connection when they never even seen me. I'm so sorry, Simone. I haven't been speaking with you online and we are not in a relationship. You haven't sent me any money. I want everyone to be aware that if someone is online claiming to be me and asking for money, that you are not speaking with me. I will never do that. All of my official pages are clearly marked with a blue check. I don't have any
because he's been in the entertainment industry for 20 years.
Backup pages, okay? I ain't gonna be lurking online.
Mario backup page contacted me. Mario, was that you?
I have one fan texting number, and that is 844-888-8726. And when time permits, I send positive messages. I am passionate about all of my supporters, so please be careful and mindful about who you are speaking with online. Thank you, Dr. Phil, for bringing awareness to this situation. Brightest moments to all. And remember, be mindful. Peace. If someone is online claiming to be me.
All right, let me give my commentary on this. Oh my God. When I first saw this, my heart went out to her. It really did. I felt bad for her. I felt bad for this lady. And I felt bad for her. I mainly felt bad because she spent a buku amount of money to be around Omarion. But then 1 and 2 ain't adding up to 3. If you see, you know. Yeah. So I already gave you my commentary while she was talking. The one thing she said is she's never heard him speak. She's only heard him talk. She only heard him sing. Omarion has been in the entertainment industry ever since he did the pop commercial and McDonald's commercial, okay? His voice has sounded the same because he has, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop. His voice has sounded the same for years. You want to see it? Let me show you. Okay? His voice has never changed. The tone of his voice has never changed. His voice has never changed. Y'all want to see it? His voice has never changed. I know this. He sounds the same. He sounded the same and sang the same his whole life. Okay? This is him in a pop commercial. Okay? No, I don't know. What are we doing? What is this? Okay.
First in line for my sweet corn. Game day, you understand? Right. Relax, meatheads eat meat, not my pop.
Even though his voice is higher in this commercial, he still has the same tone. His voice has never changed.
I sure can eat. Sure can. Man, even the weasel gets popped before me. If I don't think defense, these animals are gonna score every last pop. Hey, aren't you guys late for the pep rally? Pep rally? Let's do it! Yeah. Kellogg.
That's him, the pop commercial. Even though his voice is higher, he has the same underlying tone. This is him in 101.
The perfect Valentine's Day? Me, you, the periodic table.
Too bad we got a test on Monday. I'll be all over you like rust after oxidation.
Is that good?
Girl, with me, it's all good.
He sounds the same. How can you? And I don't think you can replicate his voice. The only person I think could replicate his voice is members of his group, because they all have the same tone. Y'all want to hear it? Why did I get rid of my youth? Why did I do that to YouTube? They have the same tone. Let me show y'all. They all have the same tone because, I hate doing this, but you know, whatever. And this is because he's in a group. So him impersonating God, I can't find what happened to that video where you sitting here making fun of him. I think that's funny. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste too much time on this topic because I just don't understand how you a real fan and you never heard him speak. And yes, why am I laughing? Me, I was thinking this and I was laughing because this has happened to somebody I know. I know someone that was scammed by a fake Amorian page as well. And the page asked her for $500. Okay. Long story short, the fake Amorian page gave her the money back, which I thought was weird. I was like, okay, well, at least you a scammer with a conscience. But I know someone who was personally scammed by a fake Amorian page and got $500 out of her. And then girl. Oh. Is there a ghost in his house? Anyway, one of the jokes we used to joke about is his brother. Okay, Morian has a brother that is fine as wine as well. I met him too. I've met his brother before. As a matter of fact, I met his brother 3 years ago on Bigo. It was actually him. It wasn't fake. Okay. Yeah, Mario, somebody tried to scam me. Anyway, it was actually him. I met him, and then I met him in person last summer. Let's talk about this. And so one of the conclusions I made, because the only reason you can convince me it's a Morian is if his brother, I'm not dragging you. I promise. I'm not dragging you, Orion. Okay. But one of the things we told her was, how you know it wasn't Orion that did it? To me, it just not seem like it's Omarian's character to do some goofy shit like that. I'm gonna tell you, and I met him twice in 1 month, and he just don't seem like somebody like that. And the same thing with his manager, Miss Michelle. She's the sweetest person you could ever meet. She's very sweet, she's very kind, and she's so nice. And she's very pleasant to be around. It just don't seem like they would do something like that, okay? But the one theory we had was that it could possibly be Orion. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Orion did this, okay? But I joked and said, well, maybe it's Orion. You know, he sounds like Omarion. And the thing is, Orion don't sound like Omarion. Even with his singing voice, Orion don't sound like Omarion. Omarion has a more raspy voice, and Orion, he has a smoother voice. But there was one time we were on Bigo on one of his panels. It was late at night. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was a moment where he sounded like him for a second. For a second. Okay? He sounded like him for about 3 seconds. But then we all know Orion is not camera shy. Because, I mean, we'll look at him. 1. And 2, he ain't got to tell you he's a Omarion. Because I noticed when he's on Bigo, people always ask him, and his thing is Orion, right? He has presented himself as Orion. So he has not pretended to be his brother. He has not done anything as his brother, but his Bigo handle is Orion. Even though they see on his handle Orion, they still come in and be like, Omarion, is that you? That's you? It baffles me. Because it's like, to me, clearly, they don't look the same to me. You can tell with looking at their noses. They don't look the same. They don't. And Orion is not camera shy. Y'all know he ain't camera shy. What's up? He's not camera shy. So, I don't know what she gets. I never heard him speak. So when I guess she was just busy screaming back in the day when Omarion was on What Is the Park and talking when the B2K Millennium Tour happened. Were you just screaming the whole time when he was talking? You didn't hear what he had to say? This is a problem with us women. We don't listen to men when they tell us who they really are. We don't listen. We never listen to men when they tell us who they really are. And my thing is, the main thing this woman had listened to was his voice. That speaks volumes about her. That says a lot about her. That says a lot of things about her. That means you don't listen and you don't catch cues. Because you wanted him to be Omarion. Not he was actually Omarion. And how you gonna say I never heard him speak before? I never met him before. The freaking backstage passes for the Millennium Tour was $100 for the first one and the second one. He was on the first Millennium Tour and the second Millennium Tour. How can you not have known how he speaks? And how can you not have met him in person? So this suffice to say, how are you a real fan? This happened in 2020, by the way. So you telling me you went to the Millennium Tour because it was not like she don't have the money. Oh, honey, she's not hurting for money. She gave this motherfucker $4,500. So you could have paid for not only a ticket to the Millennium Tour, but you could at least got a backstage pass to the Millennium Tour as well in a cute outfit with that $4,500. He's been in the entertainment industry for 20 years. How have you never met him before? Granted, I just met him last year. Okay, that's my first time ever meeting him. Okay? I'm a fan. Don't let him know. I don't need him to think that he's cute or whatever, because he is cute or whatever. But anyway, I'm a fan. I met him twice. And his energy was very gentle. Not one time did anybody have to spend $4,500. There's a lot more I can say about certain bandmates, but we ain't gonna go there. Well, I met him at the club. I didn't even pay to get in the club. I did pay $100 to get back home, girl. I paid $60 to get back home. So my Uber transportation cost me freaking $100 to get to the club. I ain't got no wheels. And I'll be straight up honest with you. I'd rather have no wheels and pay money to be in an Uber than to sit up there and pay $60 to be in a parking space and my car still get robbed in Atlanta. True story. But for you to say you an Omarion fan, you never seen him in person, you never been to a concert, and I said this in my blog, you're clearly housebound. I don't know how you housebound and was able to go to Dr. Phil, because you were at Dr. Phil in person. You wasn't there via Zoom or whatever. Omarion was there via Zoom. And I mean, that kind of says a lot about his character that he didn't meet you in person. But there has been several chances for him to be around you. And it would have not cost you $4,500 just to meet him. It never has cost anybody $4,500 to meet him. Now, it might cost you that much to go meet Chris Brown. But it might cost you that much to see Usher. But it would never cost you $4,500 to meet Omarion. And I'm not dragging you, Omarion. Okay? I'm just saying I'm being realistic because I know you're a realistic person when it comes to the pricing of coming to see you. But I know for a fact, because I've been in the room with him, and it did not cost $4,500 to be in a room with him. And he has a strong fan base. And some of the people in the fan base are nutty. I have stories dealing with that girl. I have a whole story telling y'all that. I'll tell y'all that later. Because I don't want to spend my life talking about the nutty fans and the fan base. But for her to never have, to me, it seems like she is housebound. I don't know if it's for medical reasons, but it seems like she's housebound. Or she knew it was a lie and she just went with it so she could be on TV. But yeah, there's no way in the world somebody who's been in the entertainment industry for 25 years that you have not met him. No way. Are you a true fan? And I do believe she is self-conscious because of her weight about seeing him in person, and she probably don't want to. She probably feels some kind of way because another thing about Omarion that I will tell you guys this. I'll show you. He on the small side, girl. I was even self-conscious about meeting him myself. Because I'm 5'6", 5'7". I'm a 200-pound girl. All right. I'm a big girl. Okay. So I was very self-conscious about being around him because I'm a big girl. I know y'all say, look at the picture and be like, you're not big, but I'm a big girl. I felt like my breasts was the size of his head. They weren't. But I feel like she's never met him in person really, genuinely. It's because she's self-conscious. And Amoria is a petite man. You know, and you will feel self-conscious. You know, women don't like feeling big in a picture with a man. We don't like that. That's my picture. And I was very self-conscious, even though me and him are almost the same height. But I was self-conscious because I knew about his size. So yeah. I still in some way feel bad for her. Because I low-key feel like part of it was that she wanted it to be Amoria. I really do. All right. Next day. I'm gonna do a whole live about this. Okay. I don't already. Long story short, she deserved everything she got in this situation. She lied on this man, made him seem like he was a pedophile. So yeah, she got what she deserved. She got what she deserved. And she should spend time in prison for lying on him like that.
When the zodiac signs.
Sorry. I just feel like Travis Scott is not Travis Scott. Okay. It's giving Invasion of the Body Snatcher. Because, you know, Travis Scott, he comes from a very classy background. I know y'all assume that all rappers come from the hood. No, this brother comes from the suburbs, okay? His parents were not in that type of lifestyle. What was it just filming for? Anyway, this don't sound like this is his character. But I'm messy and I want to drag one of the Kardashians for some reason. Because I know I'm going to blame the Kardashians, right? So, it says, Travis Scott is possibly facing an assault charge after allegedly getting into a physical altercation outside a New York nightclub. According to TMZ, around 3 a.m. on Wednesday, Travis got into it with someone at Nebula, a club in New York. Travis allegedly punched that person and damaged property, possibly a cell phone. At this time, police want to talk to Travis and his rep, but the officials report his for assault and criminal mischief. Travis is set to headline Rolling Loud in California this weekend As of right now, it's unclear if these charges will affect his plans. Let me talk a little bit about this. It's funny because somebody in the comment section at TMZ said this is Kardashian curse. It is. That's why you don't have kids with everybody. No matter how much money they have, no matter how pretty they are, how good their genes are. Sometimes it's about their spirit. It's more about their spirit than it is about how good the genes are and how good they are in the bedroom. Quote me on it. I said this, and I said this again. Travis Scott is not Travis Scott. I don't know who this person is, but it's not Travis Scott. It goes with this. Hold on, let me go back to this real quick. It goes to say with this, he has not been himself lately. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Yeah, okay, this is it again. For some reason, this whole first 2 weeks of March, basketball players decided to play the thug game. For some strange reason. All right. It says there was a report about a dispute. Okay. Neighborhood Talk did a report about a dispute that the Grizzlies star Ja Morant with a teen at his home last year. At the time, the file concerning the case was sealed. However, they have now opened up, and according to the New York Times, Morant is facing a gun accusation from the incident. It says Morant was accused of punching a 17-year-old boy in the head repeatedly during a pickup game at the 23-year-old's house. Why there was a 17-year-old kid in your house? The team reportedly obtained a knot on his head after being punched by Morant and friends of the NBA star. The boy claimed that Morant went into the house and reemerged with his hands on a gun visible in the waistband of his pants. However, Morant said the teen was the aggressor and threw a ball at his head, and he claimed the teen threatened to light his house up while leaving. Why was there a 17-year-old in your house? That's the main thing for me. I don't hear anything else but why there was a 17-year-old in your house. Just in case y'all didn't know, because nobody knows what's going on lately. So yeah, congratulations to Michael B. Jordan.
Hallelujah.
I looked at who created a living trust to handle.
I'll talk about this later.
We learn about a Black couple that is trying to figure it out.
I know all this. Pasa, papi, ¿por qué llora?
Why did I say this? I already talked about it. I don't know how many times.
Up next, was it all?
Okay. This is from the Lovely Tea. Apparently, when you beat the hell out your wife, you only get 6 months in prison.
All a staged attack. That's what former NFL running back Zach Stacy is claiming in new police body cam footage obtained by TMZ Sports. It was taken during his arrest days after video surfaced of him beating his ex-girlfriend, Kristen Evans, in their Florida home. Zach says she faked the whole thing out of bitterness.
The whole thing was staged. All she's trying to do is just get money out of it.
Well, she is. So, yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out, when you assault people, you don't get more time in prison no more. Like, he beat the hell out of this woman.
She got a reaction out of me. She knew I was down. She knew I was going through anxiety, depression. She knew I was trying to close this gap that's between me and my son.
Reporter Caleb Brantley joins me now with more on this.
So the crazy part is you saying it to white officers as if they give a damn.
Kayla, we've all seen video of the gruesome attack. How exactly could Kristen have staged this?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, Alicia, and we should warn viewers that the footage may be disturbing to some. Zach says this altercation on November 13th between he and his ex, which took place in front of their 5-month-old son, was staged by Kristen because she was upset that Zach no longer wanted to be with her. He claimed she knew he wasn't in a good place mentally and used that to get a reaction out of him. Well,
here we go again. Oh, my mentals. I'm using that as an excuse to beat the hell out of a woman who is 10 times smaller than me.
is now responding to Zach's allegations on her Instagram.
For one, I don't know how you can stage getting your beat on multiple occasions.
And clearly it don't look staged because what did she do? He grabbed her, threw her against the TV, and the TV fell on top of her after she fell.
You can't. But this is what abusers do. They will make you seem like you're the crazy one and that they're the victim.
She goes on to say that it makes her even more upset to see the cops in the body cam footage consoling the 30-year-old athlete. Zach was booked on charges of felony aggravated battery and felony criminal mischief. He's currently out on bond. Alicia.
If convicted, he could spend up to 15 years behind bars. Continue to keep us posted on this one. Caleb Brantley, thank you.
He needs to spend 16 years behind bars because you over here fighting her like she a felon.
Up next.
My thing is you a football player. The purpose of you playing football so you can hit a bunch of men on the field. Not sit there and beat up on a woman.
Was it all a staged attack? That's what former NFL running back.
Yeah, whatever. My mentals.
Nigerian never.
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not gonna respond.
Okay. I think I already talked about this. But we can talk about this. So,
girl, real head.
Suki.
You fuck what you thought about a girl.
You know, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to do with this.
We start with those.
We'll talk about this later too.
Commercial break.
This is something I actually don't give a damn about. I really don't. I genuinely don't. I want to talk about this because I thought liposuction was safe. I ain't gonna lie. I want to fix her up there. It's on site and it says a young mother from Venezuela has reportedly died from receiving liposuction at a clinic and a shopping center, according to the New York Post. The tragic incident occurred on Sunday night after the mother, 31 years old, Ana Rosa Rivero, went to a clinic in Cumana, Sucre, her hometown, report the Ultimas Noticias. Girl. Me over here saying it's like me ever learned Spanish before. The woman received lipolaser, which allowed doctors to use a laser to cut off the fat, mold the body, and sculpt the cellulite, report the James Press. This procedure is reportedly less intrusive than the average procedure. Following the operation, Rivero began to have issues breathing close to 10 p.m., causing relatives to contact emergency officials. Report said that I don't know why I'm doing this right now. Because I'm gonna be doing a whole week talking about BBLs on my podcast. Cause it's BBL season, right? You know, everybody gotta get bikini body ready. But damn, you can't get liposuction no more neither. I always see stuff like this as a warning because I mean we all want a quick fixer upper. We all want to fix things that we don't like about ourselves, but sometimes you just need to let it go. RIP to her and Rosa. I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it later.
Just trying to tell him to.
Okay, so this is Travis Scott victim. I should have showed this before. That's what happened.
So he so it sounded good for the performance, but he just stuck his middle finger in my face. So I lowered the monitor a little bit so I could talk to him. And that's when he ran around the speaker and attacked me. Obviously, my neck.
You lowered the monitor to the speaker. He tried to murder you, right? You lowered the monitor to the speaker. And then he just randomly out of nowhere just punched you in the face. You need more people, sir.
Up.
Your neck, your arm. What's happening with your arm?
Oh, my arm is tingling. I have pins and needles going down it. Just trying to tell him to. So he so it sounds.
I'm not saying that Travis Scott didn't punch him. What I'm saying is, what did you say for you to get punched? That's all I have to say. We ain't get copyright strikes for that. We already talked about this psychopath right here.
Snoop Dogg need an umbrella.
I'm sorry. You was playing me.
No. That voice.
But drizzle.
No, that voice. No.
But drizzle.
No.
I'm laughing at Blue. The joke is not funny, but I'm laughing at Blue. Blue was like, no, please don't do that. Don't do that. I'll talk about this later too. This later too, girl. Oh my God. I mean, what were you expecting? You took your nephew out for life insurance money. What was he expecting?
I thought I told you that.
I don't even want to talk about Miss Bobby.
Hey, y'all, T-Pap here. But that imp they call Rumple.
Okay, can I tell you about this? I want to talk about this because I think I had a situation with Rumpelstiltskin. So this is, this is a warning for everybody out there. Don't deal with Rumpelstiltskin. Listen to what he has to say.
Rumpelstiltskin. If you look up what an imp is, that's what he is. In the conscious community, I'm hearing a lot of these people talk about doing biddings with jinn and say, oh, you got to make them work for you. Well, you have to understand what that actually means, though, because you have nothing for them. You have nothing that they need. He was saying, give me this possession of yours. Key word is possession, the things that you possess. And she would give him the gold necklace or the ring. And then eventually he came for her son. And that's why he was able to make the deal of, if you can guess my name, I won't take your son. Because all the other things of this world mean nothing to these beings. What only means something to them is being able to touch or have some sort of say-so. And what happened on a material plane, as you call it, the Nasut realm, is empowering to them because it's a frequency that they can pull from and draw from. So again, not from fear, from someone who's walked the path, you must be cautious with not just your dealing with these beings, for those of you who tapped into that realm, but also telling people that they should, without explaining to them that these beings have been here for trillions of years. You are a brand new human being. With all of the information that you have, you just extracted it for however long you were here. 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years. You are not here long enough for you to say that these beings are just going to work for you. That's not how it works.
Genie gave you your power, and he can take it away. He serves me for now. But you'll never have more power than the genie. But you'll never have more power than the genie.
So you have to let people know the ins and outs of this, because the same way they showed you in the Doctor Strange movie, darkness will consume people. But that imp they call Rumpelstiltskin. If you look up what an imp is, that's
a small mischievous devil or spirit. Yep, that was him. I think I didn't sign no contract. Y'all need to be careful of stuff like this, okay? All right. You may not believe in spirituality. You may not believe in demons and spirits. But when you sign a contract with someone, they're allowed to do what the hell they want to you. I ain't gonna say nothing else about that. I'll talk about this later. I kind of want to just end.
Know what cows do.
But it's these middle-aged black men attacking young women for me. So I'm done for tonight. I'm almost 2 hours in. I will come back tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed my live. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, but it's going to take some time for me to get back into the swing of things, because I'm plotting something. Don't ask me what I'm plotting. I'm just trying to make room for more blessings for myself. With that being said, thank you guys for coming to my live. I am so